What's going on, everyone? It's Justin, aka Straight Hacks here, and we are going over our team builder for week 1 of the PAC. We're going to be taking on Coach Cherry of the Blazing Blazikens, and I have the matchup on the screen right here. You can see my team on the left with Landers, Incarnate, Spectre, Urshifu, Deoxys Defense, Zarina, Incineroar, Magnezone, Comfey, Greedent, and Cramorant, and on the opponent's team, they have Deoxys Speed, Rabombi, Terra Iron Moth, Blastoise, Tinkaton, Terra Regidrago, Rotom Fan, Zarude, Palisand, and Hariyama. So this is the matchup, and I'm going to be going over what we're bringing and why we're bringing it here in a second. But as you can see, we have a considerable speed gap between Deoxys Speed and everything else, as is usual when you're facing a Deoxys Speed. Um, I'm not so much worried about the speed gap, to be honest. It while it is very fast and can hit hard, it still only has 95 base attack and special attack. So I'm not too worried about it. I have options when it comes to checking it, things like my own Deoxys or Incineroar. The Rabombi to me is only a concern if it can set up a Quiver Dance or set up webs, and I think I can prevent it from doing that pretty well this week. Terra Iron Moth and Terra Regidrago both are very, very scary Terra captains. Iron Moth can Terra defensively or to help boost some of its coverage moves. Regidrago can Terra Dragon and just use things like Dragon Energy and Outrage to do a lot of damage, or do something like Terra Steel to help cover for the fairies, or maybe like a Terra Fighting or Fire or Ground for Magnezone. Tinkaton is a great support mon for them. It could be very hard to play around. Things like Stealth Rocks and Thunder Wave and such. Blastoise could be set up with Shell Smash, could be Rapid Spin, could just be a general tank. They have a Rotom Fan. I'm not too worried about Rotom Fan as a non-Terra captain. If it was Terra Captain, I probably would prep more for it, but I think I have enough answers to it in something like Landers to be able to take care of that. Zarude can be very good. I've used Zarude and I like it a lot, but I think I have the answer to that, and something like Incineroar could help. Palisand is there. It it's a good wall, but that's about all it can really do. And Hariyama can be scary if it gets set up, or just can be a general tank. So here, there's the matchup. I'm going to be going over our team and what we're bringing right about now. So we're going to start with Spectre. The first one we're bringing is Heavy Duty Boots Spectre. I was back and forth for this set a couple of times. I almost brought Specs. I was going to bring Scarf even. Um, but it was Specs until I thought about webs, and I want to at least be faster than everything that's not Deoxys speed. That's why we have 212 EVs in a timid nature to outspeed everything that is not Deoxys speed on their team. This could be a very good mon here with Nasty Plot, and their only ghost resist being the Zarude. Everything else is at least neutral. So it could be a very, very good setup one for us late game. 252 special attack and 44 HP. So yeah, Spectre. I'm not. It Zarude can check it kind of, but if it doesn't have recovery, then it can only take 2 Shadow Balls, and then after that, it's not really a check anymore, and nothing else really wants to take a Shadow Ball that much. Psychic is there in case Iron Moth doesn't Terra. I have something super effective. Draining Kiss is there in case I need to hit the Zarude for whatever reason. I really probably won't do that very often because I could likely have Sucker Punch. Uh, but that's what we have this set for here. Next is what's probably going to end up being our lead, unless I see something in the battle right beforehand, or some of their Terra types maybe, because we're doing Terra preview, so I'll know their Terra types beforehand. But it's Choice Scarf or Urshifu Rapid Strike. We have Surging Strikes, Close Combat, Thunder Punch, U-Turn. Pretty simple, plain. Urshifu Surging Strikes hits a lot of their team pretty well, with the resistance being Zarude, Regidrago, and Blastoise. For the Blastoise, Thunder Punch is there. Close Combat's there for the Zarude. And U-turns there, obviously, to be able to keep momentum. The plan currently is to lead Urshifu, especially if I see Rabombi. So if the Rabombi, like say it's like a Sash Rabombi lead, Surging Strikes Oko's Rabombi, even if it's max bulk. And to do that, we have 252 Adamant attack, Urshifu 148 speed, which should outspeed everything that's not Deoxys speed. And then we have, I think I actually corrected it, to outspeed a Deoxys speed that's trying to creep a Spectrator by a couple points. And then we have 108 HP, just an extra little bulk in case we need it. I don't anticipate trying to take a lot of hits, but just in case we need to. Our third Pokemon here is Incineroar. We have Choppleberry. Choppleberry is there because this is going to be my main switch into probably Deoxys Defense and maybe Zarude as well. And their best coverage moves to hit Incineroar are things like Focus Blast or Close Combat. Or Superpower, I should say, for Deoxys Speed, and Close Combat for Zarude. The Choppleberry will help take one, and I will be able to knock out the Deoxys Speed if it has an item with knockoff, or the Zarude with Flare Blitz. And parting shots there to be able to switch around and lower stats. And we are rocking 252 HP, 228 Spadef, and 28 attack with an Adamant nature to be able to do as much damage as possible after the bulk. Our fourth mon here is going to be Comfey, and I'm bringing Comfey for a main part to check a Regidrago in case it's just Terra Dragon or not Terra at all. I think if it does Terra, it will be Terra Steel, but I see the Iron Moth being the more likely Terra captain of the two. But for Comfey, we have Draining Kiss, Terra Blast, Giga Drain, Calm Mind with a big root. The big root's there for Draining Kiss and Draining Kiss and Giga Drain, and the Triage ability will make both of those moves priority moves. So if we can set up Calm Minds, this Pokemon could sweep if we really need it to. We have 36 HP, 4 in defense, 252 special attack, 4 in Spadef, and 212 in a timid nature for speed. That will be outspeeding everything Zarude Tinkaton and below. We will not be outspeeding Zarude or Moth, Rabombi, or Deoxys Speed, but we don't necessarily need to, because I'm going to be Terra Ground, which could be a problem if the Iron Moth is like Terra Grass maybe. But otherwise, the Draining Kiss is at +3, I think, could take out Zarude, maybe +2. But I don't take a lot. If I get some Calm Minds up, I don't necessarily take a lot from Iron Moth, barring Terra, like Energy Ball. And even then, if I get a couple Calm Minds up, it's not really a big deal at that point anymore either. I can recover with Draining Kiss if it Terras, or just kill it with Terra Blast if it doesn't. Yeah, our fourth mon here is going to be a Deoxys Defense. Now, with 160 defense and special defense, this thing is going to be a tank, and it's going to be my main switch in to Iron Moth, and maybe like a setup Blastoise if that's what we see. With Psyshock, Spikes, Thunderwave, Teleport, Psyshock just for damage in case the Iron Moth doesn't Terra. We can do big damage to it with Psyshock hitting it on the defensive side. Spikes are good here for the Moth if it doesn't Terra, the Tinkaton, and just to do general damage. I was debating Stealth Rocks or Spikes, but I chose Spikes here mainly for the Tinkaton if it wants to keep switching in. We'll do some more damage. And I'm not really worried about the Rotom fan, so I don't really need the Stealth Rocks, and it only hits the Rabombi and the Iron Moth super effectively anyway. So I figure if I can get like 2 or 3 layers of Spikes up, it has more value than the Stealth Rocks here. Thunder Wave, in case the Rabombi does end up getting late game webs or mid game webs, I can Thunder Wave things to make them slow them down, or just even if they don't get up webs, I can Thunder Wave things, and that would be very helpful. And Teleport to take a hit and get out with the leftovers. and we are calm with 100 Spadef, 156 defense, 252 HP. This thing's not meant to hit things, it's meant to take hits, and that's it. And finally, we have our Terra Flying Yachi Berry Sheer Force Landorus. Has Earthquake, Terra Blast, Rock Slide, Swords Dance. We have 52 EVs in HP, 252 in attack, and 204 in speed with a Jolly Nature. That's going to outspeed, again, everything Tinkaton and below. But with Terra Flying, I'm not really worried about any hits these top 4 can really do to me. And with the Yachi Berry, if something like Blastoise wants to Ice Beam me, and especially if I'm Terra Flying, I will take maybe 2 if it's not invested, but 1 for sure if it's invested. And I think even 1 if it's +2. But in that situation, I can't set up in front of it. I'm not really going to set up in front of it anyway. I'm more going to set up in front of something like a Rotom Fan if it comes, or like a Zarude, something like that. Maybe Palisand or Hariyama, depending on the situation. But yeah, so this is the team we're bringing against Spectre, Urshifu, Incineroar, Comfey, Deoxys, and Landorus. And I will see you guys in the battle. Alright, we're back here for the battle, guys. As you can see, we're bringing Heavy Duty Boost Spectre, Choice Scarf Urshifu, Choco Berry, Incineroar, Comfey with Big Root, Deoxys with Leftovers, and Landorus with Yachi Berry. We see no Rabombi, so that slightly changes what I was going to lead. I was originally going to lead Urshifu. I think I still lead Urshifu, and I probably will here, actually. It's a very good all-around check. No Rabombi, that is great. That means we don't have to worry about webs. Our Terras are flying on Landers and ground on Comfey, while they have water on Iron Moth this game and poison on Regidrago. The original plan was lead Urshifu if we saw Rabombi, but I'm gonna lead Urshifu anyway. I just think it's very good into this matchup, and there are many things that it can hit with just Surging Strikes really hard, or just even U-turn right off the bat with the Scarf. But let's see what they lead here. They are leading the Regidrago, so they're Terra Poison on this. I don't know if they're gonna want to Terra right away. Looking at the calcs here, we do about 70 to 80 with close combat, but I think I'm just gonna U-turn into Comfey here. This is gonna happen. This is my check for this. If he is Scarf Dragon Energy, it will probably kill me. Doesn't look like he's, or at least if he is, then they know we are as well. We're just going to U-turn right into Comfey, which is our check for this. Earth Power comes off. That does a chunk. Does a little bit over half. Earth Power, to do that much, I think it has to be Specs. But see, a Draining Kiss here does about 39 to 46. What do they switch into? I think they just switch into Iron Moth. I don't want to make that call necessarily yet. I don't know what else they switch into though. I think I'm actually just going to Terra Ground and Terra Blast here. Because even if they Terra Poison, it's actually very good for us, and I should be faster, or I will be faster. I'm pretty sure there's specs based on damage. So they're going to withdraw here. Let's see what they go into. That's the Iron Moth. This is going to be a really big hit for us. It is booster energy. But we did make the call to Terra and Terra Ground. This should kill. If I did my calcs right, if he's not bulky, this should kill. Let's see here. I made this to be a really good call with this kill. There we go. That's great. Iron Moth down right off the bat. This is a really good start for us, actually. that Iron Moth is a problem and not have to deal with Terra Water Iron Moth is actually really good. But now Dragon Spam is actually very hard against us. They are going to go Tinkaton. Oh, it's Air Balloon Tinkaton, okay. Let's see. I assume it's bulky. I assume it's going to set up hazards here. It can kill us with a Gigaton Hammer. It is Air Balloon. I'm just going to swap out here, I think, into... Let's go into... What's left on his team? So no more Iron Moth. The Deoxys becomes a lot more of a catch-all check. I'm just going to go hard Deoxys here and see what they want to do. Comfey can still be good later. I don't want to just keep it up yet. He's just going to get some hammers. This should do about 27 to 30 to us, and it gets a crit. That's alright. We get our leftovers back. I assume they just go hard Zarude here or into their own Deoxys. I'm just going to teleport to see what they do. They knock off. Okay. I am just going to teleport out. I think I just go into Landers and try to set up a Swords Dance here. See what they want to do to us. I know they have the Air Balloon, but I still don't think they want to stay in necessarily. Let's see, they could throw off some hazards of some kind. They could just knock off here as well to get rid of my berry. Obviously, they don't know I have the berry yet, but they could just Gigaton Hammer. It does about 50%, but let's see what they decide to do here. They stay in. They are just going to Gigaton Hammer. That's going to do about 50% to us. A little over 50 there. Then it's definitely attack invested for sure. I'm just going to Rock Slide here to pop the Air Balloon. And if they don't switch next turn, they'll die to Earthquake. And once this Air Balloon, if this Air Balloon gets popped, then Earthquake is pretty free here. Let's see what they decide to do. I assume they're just going to stay in and knock off. They're going to stay in. Do a good chunk with Rock Slide. Maybe get a flinch? No flinch, but they're going to encore us into Rock Slide. Okay, so I assume a Gigaton Hammer comes out here. It doesn't do very much to Urshifu. I could just switch. I'm just going to switch to Urshifu here and lock into Surging Strikes. I think maybe I might U-turn depending on what comes out here. So they're going to Gigaton Hammer. This should do like 30% max. Yeah, there we go. And do I close combat here? I'm just going to Surging Strikes and see what they decide to do. I don't see them going Zarude because of the threat of the U-turn. Because U-turn will absolutely kill it if it comes in here. So I'm just going to go for the Surging Strikes. This will kill. I believe even if they're max in terms of defense, this should still kill. It might be a roll, but they definitely have some attack of us, so I definitely don't think that's what their set is. So let's see if they switch out. Nope, they're gonna stay in here. I think we kill for sure. So Tinkaton goes down, and we're locked into Surging Strikes. So I think they go hard Zarude now, would be my guess. Comfey. Let's see here. They go into Deoxys. Speed. I don't believe I'm faster here. No, I'm not faster. What I'm gonna do is just go into Deoxys here. They can try to set up a nasty plot. If they do, I'm gonna Thunder Wave them. Depending on, well, let's see what they do. Got the Deoxys versus Deoxys here. They're just gonna knock off. It doesn't KO us, but the next one will. I think I'm okay with that. I'm just gonna click Thunder Wave. They're gonna knock off. Here. It could be Sash. I'm just gonna go Incineroar here. Lower their attack. If they have Focus Blast or Superpower or something like that, I have Chople. I'm just gonna click the knockoff. If they switch, so be it. If not, this is gonna do a big chunk of damage. They do switch. This is the Regidrago. I'm gonna knock off, so I believe it has specs, but this will confirm it. Was indeed choice specs. We know it has Earth Power. Specs got knocked off. It's at about 25%, maybe a little bit more than that. Earth Power can't kill me. Draco can't kill me. I'm just gonna knock off again. I think it kills from this range, even with no item. He's just gonna Dragon Pulse. Does about 50%. The knockoff should kill here. It does. Awesome. The Deoxys is gonna come back in here. They don't know I'm Chople, so I'm just gonna click the knockoff button again and see what they go for. It could KO through the Chople, but we'll see. They're going Meteor Beam. Power Meteor Beam? They are Power Herb Meteor Beam. Good bring, good bring. I was not expecting that. I was expecting more of a Focus Blast Superpower type move for the Incineroar, but that's okay. In terms of Spectre, they're not like... They are +1. I think they might just KO us regardless of what we do. I could go to Comfey and get some chip. This might be GG's, honestly. Unless we just hope Spectre lives whatever move it has for us. I think that's what we're gonna have to do. Yeah, that's the only way we take this thing out, I think. Maybe bluff a Scarf. I'm just gonna click Shadow Ball, and we'll see what happens. They have Psycho Boost. A +1 Psycho Boost is a very high roll in their favor to take us out. Anything else should not knock us out. Let's see what they decide to do here. They do have Psycho Boost. This likely knocks us out. Oh, we live. Oh my god. That was not in our favor at all with their max special attack. This should take the Deoxys out, and it does. Spec. And the way they brought this in, I assume they're Scarf for Zarude. At +1. If they're not Scarf, let's see. If they're not Scarf, we do about 50% with Draining Kiss. Is that something I want to risk? I don't really think I have a choice. Let's just see how much we do here. They are indeed Scarf. Okay. So we knew that they were likely Scarf there in that case, the way they brought it in. I'm just gonna go into Comfey and just click Draining Kiss, I think, here. It does probably about 40%. If it's Assault Vest, it does more like 30, 26 to 30, it looks like. But with Big Root, we recover a lot. So let's see what they decide to go for. There's not much they can really do to knock us out. Oh, that is Assault Vest max today. So we get a whole chunk back from that. They are just going to go for the Ice Punch, okay. That probably did about what I was expecting. I could now just go to Urshifu. I don't want to let the Comfey go down because that's a priority hit against the Zarude there. I'm going to go to Urshifu. If they click Ice Punch again, or they could click something else. I don't think anything they really do kills us though. They're just going to Ice Punch again. Doesn't do very much to us. No freeze. We're good. We're just going to click Surging Strikes here. This does 73 to 87 to the Hariyama if they stay in. And this does about 28 to 35 to the Zarude if they decide to switch it in here. But again, I just don't think they can switch in the Zarude with the threat of the... I don't think... It doesn't look like it's going to KO based on that damage there, which is fine. They might KO us here, but it definitely puts us in Comfey range. Let's see, they decide that when they KO us here, they cannot. Just gonna click it again. I'm just gonna click it again. If we go down here, we go down here. They are faster. They're in a power wheel. The question is, can Landorus live a power whip? Unlikely. I think we just have to hope they miss here. to put us in range with Comfey, because I think Comfey definitely dies to a Power Whip. Yeah, so we just gotta hope for a Power Whip miss or two here. I'm just gonna go into Landers and click Rock Slide. We know they're Scarf, they're not gonna miss the Power Whip, it's gonna knock us out. Alright, it's all down to this. We gotta click Draining Kiss and hope that the Power Whip misses. We have to, actually, we need 2 Power Whips to miss, I think, to win this. Nope, they're gonna hit the Power Whip, and I think that's gonna be game over. GG's to Cherries, that was a very good game, a 1-0 loss to start the season. But it was my first game with this team. I probably shouldn't have teared Comfey so early, but it got us the KO on the Moth. I'm not mad at a 1-0 loss, so that's going to be it for this one, guys. Stop by next week for our Week 2 battle, which I will be going over in the team builder at the start of that video as well. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.